Welcome back. In my series talking about Neville Goddard's Your Faith is Your Fortune, I am actually up to talking about chapter 4. Chapter 4 talks a lot about who you seek for a master and making sure that you're leaning on yourself. And I wanted to talk about this a bit because it may seem a little weird coming from me. I actually have a membership program that has group coaching, courses that are involved, very exclusive content for the folks who want to join. And then I do offer a personal development coaching program. And so it's like, well, wait a minute. If this chapter is talking about who do you seek, what is like kind of the masters that you seek, like outside of yourself, aren't you being a little hypocritical? And in a way, maybe I could understand how you would feel that way. But for myself, I am not here to be a manifestation coach. I've gotten some emails about this. I am not a manifestation coach. I'm a personal development coach. And a self-concept coach. So what I work with people on is just really uncovering the blocks that you have created essentially for yourself and figuring out what those are and how you can work around them. But it comes from you figuring out what works for you. I actually recently had a client tell me, I thought that when you and I met, you were going to tell me exactly what to do and how to do it. And that has worked in the past for them, but it's worked limited amounts because it has been stuff that they couldn't sustain. And while, yes, you can have somebody tell you, repeat this specific affirmation 80 times per day or 80 times per hour, and that's going to work for you, there's a reason there's so many techniques that are out there. And those techniques are because they don't hold, or the reason there's so many is because they don't actually hold the power, right? You do. Your belief in yourself, your belief in your faith in your desired outcome is what manifests. So Neville talks in this chapter about being careful about the masters that you look at. So he says, today there's so much said about masters, elder brothers, that numberless truth seekers are being constantly misled by seeking these false lights. For a price, most of these teachers offer their students initiation into the mysteries, promising them guidance and direction. Man's weakness for leaders, as well as his worship of idols, makes him an easy prey of these schools and teachers. Good will come to most of these enrolled students. They will discover after years of awaiting and sacrificing that they were following a mirage. And so I wanted to talk about this because I'm like, wow, what is Neville actually saying here? And what he's telling you is that you are the one. It comes from you. The good will happen because you'll learn that you don't actually need anybody to guide you. You don't need somebody to tell you exactly what to do and how to do it and how many times a day to say something. Sorry, I'm like growing out my bangs and they're driving me crazy. It's always that like hard, funky stage, right? But you don't need somebody else to tell you exactly what to do. Because what may work for me may not work for another. Like I have shared that I don't actually have the ability for a great visualization. I cannot see a scene in my head the way that many other people can. That doesn't mean that I'll never have my manifestations. I've had multiple manifestations come to fruition for me. I've had multiple different techniques work for me because it's the faith, it's the feeling, it's a state that you dwell in and where you continuously return that is what is actually made manifest, not this false belief that you have to do something in XYZ order. Then you're giving your power actually away. So when people say, oh, you're the operant power, you don't want to give your power away, this is kind of part of like how you can do that is by allowing somebody else to tell you that unless you follow these specific steps, you're never going to get the thing that you want. And that's not really how this works. So he continues to go on. Let me get down here. He says, I am your awareness is Lord and Master, and beside your awareness, there is neither Lord nor Master. So really, there's nobody external. I can't tell you you're going to be this thing and you're just going to be it, right? I can see you as your ideal self, and that definitely can become manifest in my own life. And I will say, I don't understand how this works, but I've seen it work where I see the good of somebody else. I see them excelling, getting a job, getting a promotion, getting a raise, and it's happened for them. But they still, for some way that this all connects and works, they still have that same belief in themselves, right? So something happens where like God speaks to their heart through my prayers to manifest this into their life based on like the way that I'm viewing them. Right? And so he continues to say, you are master of all that you will ever be aware of being. You know that you are, do you not? Knowing that you are is the Lord and Master of that which you know that you are. And so I've tried to explain this a couple times in some previous videos, that you are always what you believe yourself to be. There's literally nothing right now that you actually believe truly that you are, that nobody could shake your confidence in, that you're not, right? Like if somebody came to me and tried to tell me that I wasn't a mother, that belief of me being that is so solid in the core of my being that I would just be like, you're ridiculous. What are you even talking about? So, and so he continues actually to go on that you could be completely isolated by man from that which you are conscious of being, yet you would, in spite of all human barriers, effortlessly draw to yourself all that you were conscious of being. The man who is conscious of being poor does not need the assistance of anyone to express his poverty. The man who is conscious of being sick, though isolated in the most sealed germ-proof area in the world, would express sickness. There is no barrier to God, for God is your awareness of being. That means that nothing can stop what you actually believe true of yourself. If you were on a deserted island living in a bubble, what you believed of yourself would still manifest for you. It would still be part of your life. Like the logical thinking is that you would still be this thing. There's been studies that have actually shown that people can manifest physical pain, although they're not technically experiencing actual physical pain. But through awareness and through belief in their mind's own perception, they can actually feel the pain. It's a way that you can sit and like move your awareness around your body and what you're paying attention to. So everything in this world comes from your belief of yourself. That's what's going to manifest for you. That's what you're going to experience. So when you are looking to become someone different, sometimes you may need somebody to just point out a different perspective, or maybe a different way of thinking, or a different way of viewing a problem, or helping you kind of work through your own belief system, uncover things that maybe you didn't see on your own, give you some tips of things to try, like tips of how to use revision in your life, or tips of how to use meditation in your life, or ways to use like state akin to sleep in your life, whatever it is. That is different than somebody telling you, you have to do XYZ in order to feel your fulfillment of your desire. Because freedom may feel different to me than it would to you. Financial abundance could feel different to me than it does for you. I can't tell you what that's going to feel like for you. I can't tell you how the relief would feel, or how the overjoy or your feelings of gratitude are. I don't know those parts about you. Only you do. You are the operant power. This is exactly what this means. When somebody says you are the operant power, I get excited and then I start being able to pronounce words correctly. But when somebody says that, this is what it means. You have the control over that. You're able to do this for yourself. So when you're looking for somebody, like if you need a coach or somebody that you're looking to guide you, I really recommend that you pay attention to the type of teachers that you're following and make sure that they're aligned to your personal goals and not aligned to telling you you have to do XYZ in order to manifest in your life. Because techniques hold no power. The techniques are not what's doing it for you. You are. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below, of course, as always. Or you can also email me at unleashinghappiness@ceciliahendricks.com. I hope that you found this helpful, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you can't tell, I get very excited talking about this stuff. It is something that has just, it's like all of a sudden it started to make so much sense to me. And the more that it made sense to me, and the more that I started looking at my behaviors and my habits and the way that I was acting and talking to myself and just working on me and not trying to mimic how somebody else got something in their life, I swear to you, the floodgates opened and it's gotten nothing but better and better just every day. So I hope the best for you. Have a good one.